didn't feel too heavy leaving my house, so I left the stuff, but you can get it all. Sylvester Graham was in Oberlin. It was about 1830 that all this came up. And it's real interesting because you kids are going through the same evangelistic, and when I say evangelistic, do you understand what I'm saying? It's kind of a preaching, you know, it's kind of like you make laws, and so usually around religion. And so Sylvester Graham came up with the idea that and people were talking about drinking liquor was against the law here in Oberlin. So they started adding food in it, okay? So now they started talking about food was sinful, that you shouldn't sit down and just eat and eat till you get so full. So they started this whole movement about restricting what you ate. Right where we're talking about now, right? You're hearing it right here in 2013, and all this was going on first time in the 1800s. And they started talking about the body and health. And the same thing that happens now, where people get to the extreme, you know, where all the fat people got to feel like they're sinful. They almost make it sinful, don't they? Yeah. The way they talk about people that have a little more flesh on their bodies, and how they're, you know, so they make victims out of people. So what happened then, they restrict their diets. And they came up with graham crackers. And the people were called the Grahamites. And the President Finney was in it. And some of the earlier people of Oberlin College. And they all had belonged to this. So if they caught you, and see, they had a covenant, they made that part of the covenant. So you couldn't drink tea, coffee, no pepper, no spices, nothing that was extra on the food you had to. And you had to eat very little. You should only have one meal, and so they really restricted. And what's interesting, they're doing the same thing again in 2013. And it died out. But it went into the temperance, which was alcohol. So they got away from the food again. And so in 2013, here you see it again. You see it where they're talking about, you gotta have these fresh vegetables, and you gotta have this, and if you don't eat it, then it's almost like you're sinful, you know? So that's what they did. So that's why you're eating the graham crackers today. Because Oberlin College is the one that brought out the graham crackers, and they're still around. So that's about 100 and something years that graham crackers stayed alive. So in 18-something, you would have been eating graham crackers. You wouldn't want to just eat that all the time, would you?
Those graham crackers have sugar in them, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine a graham cracker with no sugar.
And cinnamon wouldn't have been in there because this is spice. So, what time is it?